Hello and welcome to my few plays of KSP. Those noises you heard as I was talking with my friend, didn't realise that it was recording him while I was playing Kerbal Space Program. Anyway, this is my rocket I've designed. This is my first attempt I have a go at taking off and landing on the moon. I spent a while designing the pod and it took me a few tries to get the rest of the design correct. You can see I've got some rockets that boost them up to a good altitude and then break off. They wear out so fast because the fuel lines go in directly into the main rockets next to it. Unfortunately, this first attempt ends tragically, quite badly. It's right here. I'm not high enough when I start my turn, and I lean far too much for the height I was at, and I thought I might keep going up till I got to the 30,000 altitude and managed to get my sideways go working as well. Here's where I realise that's not working. Double check, and I try to give it a go anyway, see if I can make it, but I've already told you it doesn't work, so anyway, just trying to correct my altitude, break off the next segment. We tried to boost away here and lost complete control. Figured out now, whenever I break off that segment and end up at the in-between planet and wherever I'm aiming for stage, I will always lose control. I need to slightly turn on the engines, never turn them on full power, otherwise I just start spinning around for some reason. Not sure why. If anyone knows why, please post a comment, let me know why that happens. Anyway, I start trying to burn to get orbit. Waste far too much fuel already. I have. There you go, get orbit. This is sped up, by the way, if you can't tell. Get orbit, check my fuel, and decide I've wasted too much fuel. So instead, bring it back in, and I decide I'll go for an amazing landing. Yeah, I spun myself around, tried to burn prograde's forward, retrograde, and accidentally went prograde. Okay, bringing it in. I decide I want to go directly down. I'm bringing it in quite a lot before I even start taking control and sending myself downwards. Yeah, you can still hear my friend in the background there, I think. Here we go, start thrusting towards the ground. Thought, go fast. I'm gonna go fast. Here you go, this wobbling around here is me trying to keep control, but I also wanted to boost away from what I just disconnected from, so it doesn't land on top of my people. Although this was a good test to see if the parachute was strong enough to hold all this as we were falling down. Kerbals aren't enjoying the ride so far. It's gone wrong, so they're not enjoying it. Poor people. My test subjects. Don't know why I extend the landing legs, just, yeah, landing legs, because I got them. There you go, getting a bit worried that the parachute wasn't going to open, so I turned off my thrusters. And a lovely soft touchdown in the ocean. And party spin, woo! So, first attempt went bad. Second attempt, got the rocket on the pad, and away we go. Now, as I said before, the outer rockets feed their fuel into the rockets further in, so there's two on each of those feed into the one in, and those ones don't feed into the centre one. That's the only one they didn't do. I don't like it when I have just one long extension on something that big at the end, so I disconnect the middle one at a later stage. But as soon as those outer ones run out of fuel, I get rid of them like that. It's less weight, makes it easier for me to go up. Now, if any of you have ever had trouble getting to the moon, this should hopefully help you. I can talk you through what I do. It's a little wiggly wings. Having a computer is very important. A computer to guide the controls so you don't have to fight whether you're leaning left or right or whatnot as you're boosted straight up. It's a lot easier just to hit computer control and you worry about the thrust and when you want to start leaning. And my friend coughed. So yeah, I'll wait until I get the desired altitude. It should be soon, I hope. Eventually that centre one runs out of fuel, I'll start leaning myself. Couldn't really do it until about 30,000 metres. I'm watching the playback and I can't really see what height I've achieved. It's a bit blurry, it doesn't render properly until I've hit render at the end of the video. So I've got the desired height, I start boosting off to the side. You can see that's the angle there, the apoapis I think it's called, something like that. That's the highest point of your flight and also your slowest point. There you go, I get a bit better control this time. Somewhat. Leaning off to the side, come on, bring it back. I only fire those because I think it actually might help me pull back control. Either way, I get myself back on course. I lock in the computer and fire my engines. First I want to get to the top height. Makes it easier to thrust when you're further away from the Earth, obviously, less atmosphere, easier to fly. Once I get there, set my aim and fire my engines. Now obviously, some people could go straight for the moon, people that are better at this, whatever you're good at. I prefer to set up an orbit first around Kerbal and then go for the Mun. It's the Mun, not the moon. The Mun. I gotta call it the Mun. But yeah, just fire it, full thrust. That lovely, lovely arc extends. Come on. Any day now. That's the lowest point of my turn and also the fastest point of my turn. I can't remember what the opposite side is called, but the apoapis, highest point of turn and slowest point of turn. Obviously that side will be faster because I'm going down in towards Kerbal. Gravity's going to sling me round and throw me around to the other side. Now I start aiming up my shot to go for the Mun. What you want to do is aim about 45 degrees ahead of it. And then have really lots and lots of trouble turning around. I believe on a later design of this I added some little thrusters on the engines at the back there on that segment that cuts off, just to help me turn around at this stage because it was taking a lot of effort and a lot of time. There we go. Now if you aim prograde, which is the direction your chip's going towards, not looking which direction it's going to, if you aim prograde and fire your thrusters, if you're in orbit around something, the opposite side of the orbit starts to extend out because you've increased your speed. So as you come round you fly off at a faster speed and go out further on the opposite side of your orbit. Unless you've thrust enough, then you leave orbit entirely and enter the orbit of something else or just float off into space. Obviously the most likely chance while you're in the solar system is you'll just start orbiting the sun. There we go, extend out the opposite side of my orbit. Fire engines at full at first, but the further out that semicircle gets, the faster it starts extending. I just did a slight alteration there of where I was because I didn't feel like the orbit was going to connect with where the Mun was, so I wanted to get a bit further across. to try and get my orbit to go the other way, further on. Felt like I was going to miss. Go, and lo and behold, I missed. So you'll see a correction that I've managed to do. Aim not north. Where is it? I aim retrograde, bring it back in. Then I aim not north, but I aim sideways. So like if you're looking prograde and you aim halfway between retrograde and prograde, you should be able to push your orbit off to the other side of it. I lose a bit of control here, and that wasn't supposed to happen. Going up instead of down. I'll keep the orbit correct, flat and true. There we go. Once I've figured out what's going on, I managed to adjust myself so I can aim towards the Mun. You see, I almost had it there. Got greedy. Started changing myself. Spin back round. It can't seem to make up its mind whether or not I'm going to get caught in the gravity of the Mun or not. I keep trying to alter it so it will make up its mind, but I give up in the end and just fast forward, and it decides I am actually going to get caught in the gravity of Mun. There's a bit of space scrap there floating around from a previous attempt. There we go. You see it changes. Now I'm in orbit of the Mun. I'm caught in by its gravity, and if I continued on that, my orbit would change from the Mun back to Kerbal. What I want to do here is aim retrograde, so to slow myself down, aim back where I came from. I aim retrograde and burn to let the gravity of the Mun pull me into orbit around it. So obviously I'm going too fast. I'm just going to skim right off it and go back into orbit of Kerbal. I don't want to go back into orbit of Kerbal. I'm going for the Mun. That's where I want to land. Obviously this is a voiceover after my initial go. I believe it was late at night when I did this recording, which is why I'm doing a voiceover. There we go, it links up into a lovely circle, and then I decide that's perfect anyway. I'm going to be heading towards the light side of the Moon. I prefer to land on the light side of the Moon. I can see my shadow as I'm coming down, which helps me judge my angle of, you know, how close I am to the surface, because obviously how the surface meter works is it is sea level. I don't know what it uses for surface level on the Moon, but if you're landing on a mountain, that's above surface level, so you could just smash and explode in that mountain before you realise you're too low to the ground. It won't hit 0-0 by the time you land on the mountain. I don't know if the Moon actually has mountains. It's got huge mounds, hills and whatnot. The Mun. It's got crater holes, plenty of crater holes. Okay. Just trying to burn up my sideways angle here. I want myself going directly down, so I can look up, and every thrust I do after this point will be purely to slow myself down so I don't smash into the ground of the Mun. Speed it up a little bit. Really far away from the surface, I want to get closer. I believe I started to panic here because I'm going a bit too fast. I'm like, nope, slow down, slow down. Extend my gears just in case it's going to be a crash landing. And I make a big mistake here. I take my eyes off my actual fall speed and I start going back up again, which has sent me sideways. And for some strange reason, I don't decide to bug out and go a bit higher and adjust my angle. No, I think, oh, I can land it sideways. I can land it sideways. You see, I was talking to my friend at this time, thinking, can I do it, can I do it? All as I was talking to him. I tried to land it sideways, and the inevitable, horrible crash landing. And those poor Kerbals are stuck on the Mun now. They ain't coming home. So, this has been my first 2 attempts. Both fails. One actually got to the Mun but crashed. Still a fail, I guess. Hopefully next time I'll do it, eh? Look forward to seeing you.